Today we are going to talk about a new Princess app that is going to come out. We've got information on what the Australia-New Zealand season is going to look like for 2025-2026 with Princess Cruises, and also some other things about the Princess pricing structure that I'm noticing, and just lots to talk about. So let's go ahead and get started. Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today is Thursday, it's November 16th of 2023, and I want to start off by inviting you to please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. We would love to have you with us, and if you also appreciate these updates, would you please give this video a thumbs up? I noticed that a lot of times I don't get thumbs up or thumbs down, so thank you for not giving me thumbs down, but if you'll take a second and hit that thumbs up, it really does help me out, so thank you. Let's start at the top. First of all, Princess is going to get a brand new app available on December 1st. They are calling it the Princess Cruises app. The app that Princess currently has is called the Princess Medallion Class app, and they say that that app that we currently have is going to be available through the end of January of 2024. By that point, you better be switched over to the new app. That new app is supposed to be available as we're used to in the App Store or the Play Store, I think is what they call it for Android. And so December 1st, you'll be able to go on and get that new app. I will admit I am really excited for that. I still haven't been able to get the app that they just updated to load correctly on my phone. It's very glitchy. It spins most of the time, and sometimes it'll come up for a minute and then it crashes and is gone. So if you're having that problem as well, help is on the way, it sounds like, December 1st with that new release. They have outlined a couple of things that are going to be a little bit different. So right now there is a section on the app called Dine My Way, and that is where you go in to make your dinner reservations, see the different options, and that is going to start being called reservations, and you're going to be able to select reserve dining and then go ahead and book your dinner reservation, and that is where you're going to be booking your regular, like the main dining room dining, as well as your specialty dining. Let me tell you what I hope is in that when they get this new app out. I hope that you can also book your 360, that 360 dining experience. It would be awesome if they would include the chef's table, if you could book that, if you could book all of the special dining, all the casual dining. That would be a huge step forward and really help people a lot with their vacation planning. So I hope we see that. So we'll look for it. The next thing that's going to be a little bit different is Journey View. Right now is where you go to see the schedule of events, and it is going to be called, instead of Journey View, they're going to call it My Journey, and that it's supposed to show, as it does now, the entire ship schedule. They also have the Ocean Compass, and that is like where you can see like the deck plan and everything that's associated with that, and that, it says, the new wording is going to be explore and find your way around the ship. So that is a little bit longer of a title, but it's a little bit more self-explanatory. You're going to select Journey Shortcut on the navigation bar, it says, and select Get Me There through a reservation bookmark. So it sounds like you're going to be able to, say if you want to include that on your list of things to do. For example, I was just on Carnival, and if you look at their schedule of events, you can mark if you want that to come up. It'll actually send you a notification and remind you to go to that thing. So say you say, I want to go to trivia at 2 o'clock, and you mark that you want to go, it'll remind you. And so maybe the Princess app will do that. That would be a great step forward. But anyway, and it sounds like it's going to help you get there as well. If you click on it, it'll tell you where you are on the ship and how to get there. Ocean Ready is going to stay Ocean Ready, and that's where we go to put in our documents, make sure you've got a credit card in there, everything that you need to do to be ready to embark on your cruise. And Ocean Now is going to be called Ocean Now Service or Order. And so we will look forward to seeing how they tweak that a little bit. But right now, Ocean Now is where you're going to go in if you want to order food to be delivered to you, or a drink to be delivered to you, or order something that's available from the shops to be delivered to you. That's where you do that right now. So we'll see how that goes. I do want to say it'll be interesting to see how they change with this new app, if it makes it even more enticing to pay that $14.99 to activate your app one time to have food and beverages delivered to you. It'll be interesting to see how all that comes together and see if that's even more desirable. It is included if you have the Plus or the Premier package, that app activation. Otherwise, per person, you have to pay that $14.99 to have the section of the app work when you're on board, to have it so that you can order a drink or food to be delivered to you. I have not paid for that yet, and let me tell you this just as a quick side note. Since they started that new change that it was going to cost to do that, we have been on 2 Princess cruises, and both times we got on board thinking, you know what, we'll see if we want to activate that or not. Now, mind you, both of them were cold weather cruises, and so we were not it was too cold to be out lounging by the pool or out, on an open deck where it's warmer, reading a book or relaxing and having somebody to want you to bring a drink. It was too chilly for that. And truthfully, we never activated it because we didn't need it for anything. And so I will let you know in February, we're going on that inaugural for the Sun Princess. And I think I might just activate it for that because I am really excited to see how everything works on that new ship. I'll plan on activating it so I can tell you about it. Okay. But just that's a side note out there to remember that about the app as well. There is that charge if you want them to bring you food and drink. Like I said, that is supposed to come out on December 1st. It has a different name, so it sounds to me like we're going to be going to the App Store and downloading the Princess Cruises app. Alrighty. Okay, now let's talk for a minute about pricing structure at Princess, and then I'm going to tell you all about Australia and New Zealand for 25-26. So you might remember a little while ago that Princess said, like I've told you, that they're going to have the best prices for people who book early, and then as you get closer to the cruise, the price is going to go up. It's not going to go down. Well, since that time, I personally have noticed cruises going down in price for people that have already booked, so I refer them. But, and also in the cruises that Gordon and I are looking at, and some that we have booked, the price is going down. And I have received actually several emails from people saying, hey, Princess said, you said they said this, but my cruise has gone down. So I don't know what they're doing with their pricing structure. But here is something that I have noticed with the Black Friday sale is it's really interesting to me. I noticed that across the board on different cruises that it's not like all of the cabins on that cruise went down in price necessarily. I have looked at a few cruises and I'm going through my Princess bookings and checking them to see if the price has gone down so that I can get the better price for anyone that's booked with me. And I noticed that people can be booked on the same cruise. And if somebody's in an interior and a balcony, that sometimes one has gone down, but the other one has gone up. And so it just depends. I don't know how they decide how they're doing their pricing, but I wanted to let you know that it is worth checking. And I don't know, it'll be really interesting to see if we see those really low prices as it gets closer to time for the ship to go. I will tell you that things are really full, and I am just going to make a educated guess. I am hypothesizing that Alaska is going to be even bigger this year than we have historically seen, because there are a lot of people who look at going to Europe on a cruise and they're still going to go. And I'm in that bucket. I'm still going to go. I am still thrilled to go. But there are some people also, and this is not right or wrong, it's just different, okay? Everybody has all these different levels of risk tolerance, things they're worried about, things they're not worried about. I'm sure I worry about a lot of things other people don't. But there are also people that are like, with what's going on in Israel right now, they're not going to go to Europe. And so a lot of that demand, I honestly think, is going to move to Alaska. People will be able to stay here in North America and cruise to Alaska. So the bottom line is, and of course still the Caribbean, and Mexico. But I do want to say, if you want to go to Mexico, if you want to go to Mexico, it's important to think about wherever you want to go and get your cruise booked when you know what you want to do. But Alaska is hot, as it were. Alaska is really busy. And it's not that I have a million bookings to go to Alaska, because I don't. We do have our group, though, going July 27th of 2024. So if you want to come, send me an email and let's get you booked, because we would love to have you. But just so you know, if you are thinking about going to Alaska, don't keep dragging your feet. If you know you want to go, send me an email and I'm happy to help you with that, okay? And I always help people. I can answer your questions about excursions and all this other stuff. All right, so we have got Australia and New Zealand. It is going to go on sale for 2025-2026 with Princess on November 29th, alrighty? And so I think the 28th is for Elite, okay? And then on the 29th for everyone else. So they always do these fun graphics for it, and during the Australia, New Zealand, and South Pacific season, they are going to, overall in their voyages, they are going to call in 19 different countries. They've got 78 different port calls, 120 different departures, and they're going to go to 14 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Okay, so I love how they put that in there because I love to visit those UNESCO World Heritage Sites. And also, Princess does a really good job of bringing local culture on board. They talk a lot about doing that in New Zealand, which I really enjoy. And also, they cruise from so many different ports in Australia. If you are going to make that long flight from North America or even from Europe and fly to Australia to tour, to go on cruises, it is really nice that you can kind of tailor your whole trip. You can pick up like a Princess land tour, like, cruise tours like they do in Alaska. Well, they do the same thing there so that you can pick up a land part to go with your cruise so that you can see a little bit more and have the luxury of a tour group with that. But also, they sail from a lot of different ports there in Australia, so you can take one cruise and get off and then tour and then get up on another cruise if you want to see things cruising. That's a really good option so that you can see it, because they sail from Auckland, Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, Hobart, and Perth. So how many is that? Is that 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different ports that Princess is going to sail from. So I think that is worth a look. Australia and New Zealand are definitely on Gordon and I's bucket list. And so I want to just tell you a few of them that really, itineraries that really stood out to me. And I love the ones that make it so that you can sail from places in the United States, because then you just need a one-way ticket to get back or booking another cruise to come back. But they've got one that starts in Los Angeles on April 7th of 2026. This is on the Discovery Princess, because remember, told you a while ago, the Discovery Princess is going to be down there in New Zealand and Australia for that season. So it's very exciting that they're putting a ship that new down there. But anyway, it goes from LA down to Auckland. It's got late night calls, which late night to me is a really big deal because it gives you so much more time to see so much more and experience a lot more. So they've got the overnights in Auckland, Tahiti, and Honolulu. And so that's a 26-day cruise, but then you can also add on extra days. There's a 28-day option and a 28-day that will, a 28-day and a 30-day. Okay, so if you don't want to end in Auckland, you can end in Sydney. So just throwing that out there. And there's also a 28-day that goes from Sydney to LAX. So whatever you're looking, so like you could even do a round trip with that. How fun would that be if you've got the time? They've also got an 11-day Papua New Guinea one that goes round trip out of Brisbane, Australia, and goes to lots of the little islands there. There's also a 13-day Fiji round trip that's on the Discovery Princess and the Crown Princess, so you can decide which ship you'd rather go on. The Discovery goes on that itinerary in January, and then the Crown goes in March. That one's round trip out of Sydney. They've got their 10 and 11-day Queensland that's round trip out of Sydney, that takes you, it goes to Port Douglas. I'm going to tell you, Port Douglas is the port that you want to go if you want to snorkel on the Great Barrier Reef or scuba dive there. That's an important thing to know. They've got a 14-day round trip New Zealand. 14-day New Zealand that is round trip from Sydney, and that takes you to all of the places: Christchurch, Wellington, Tauranga, Auckland, and the Bay of Islands, and it calls it that Fjord National Park. So the reason that I tell you this is just to help you get thinking about things. I'm going to also throw out there that some of the cruises in Japan are really quite full, but there is space left on all of them. in Japan for 2024. I'm going to tell you about 2024 because it's coming sooner. So, and they have not released all of their Japan for 2025 yet with Princess, but those 2024 cruises in Japan, I want to point out that you could get to Japan at the beginning of April and then have a lovely like 20-day cruise, I want to say it is, and then you could transfer ships that day and take a ship that will take you. You can either go from Tokyo to Anchorage or Tokyo clear to Vancouver. So there are so many options. I know a lot of people are looking for ways to do it with a cruise because airfare is so expensive. And if you are retired or have the time or can work on board, what a marvelous way to travel. So I just want to throw that out there. If you need help with any of that, just send me an email and I'm happy to help you. I really appreciate you all being here with me today, and I look forward to talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.